He was talking about the NBA.
Yeah.
And we know that the NBA, they won't just come up with any statement if they've not subjected it to their internal processes. And if you respect a body like that...
No, they didn't subject anything to... because they number one, their response was swift. They didn't get back to Abuja before responding. They responded in Lokoja. They didn't sit down anywhere to analyze the result, and the response was quick and fast.
Well,
but all this, there's no point trying to ameliorate situations through debates. One thing I'm sure of is that the election was rigged, and the election is not free, is not fair, is not credible, and the ACN as a party, in the interest of justice and the interest of transparency, will go to the courts and use every other legal means available to get our stolen mandate back.
But Mr. Melaye, you know why why this is important, why this debate is important, is because it's coming against the backdrop of April elections, which a host of people said were free, fair, and credible. So if we're doing just one state, Kogi State, and we have all of INEC officials on ground in that state, how can we then say that this election
is a compromised election? I can tell you on good authority that is a compromised election. And look at the dailies yesterday, this day newspaper, page 11. The Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria made some remark saying that what happened in Kogi will also happen in Adamawa. And he made assertions that the PDP is now digital and they are now operating in space. So that is why the votes did not count on the ground. We are human beings. We don't live in space. I'm coming.
Meanings are different.
And even the national chairman of the party also made some remarks on that.
That's the meaning you have chosen.
That's the meaning you ascribe to it.
No, with me, I'm a human being. I live here. I don't live in space. Remember, because they write their results in space. Possibly the result in Kogi was written in an aircraft.
No, but meanings are in people actually, not in words. That much we can say. But if you look at all
and the process, that the same thing that happened in Kogi will happen in Adamawa.
We've got a tweet coming through. Benga Ezekiel says, "We monitor the elections independently, and ACN deemed to win." And so many independent
that man should actually reconcile with God before his death.
Mr. Melaye, you used a statement, in your statement rather, you said it was scientific rigging.
Yeah.
It was malicious.
Fallacious.
Basically I can explain.
Correct me if I'm wrong. You use the word satanic as well.
Of course, yes. Anything that is not godly is satanic.
Break down why you use this kind of...
Anyway, one, anything that is not godly, that is not righteous, that is not holy, is satanic.
All of a sudden, you're preaching holiness in election results.
Very well, yes.
Simply because you claim that you were blind and now you can see.
No, of course, yes. I'm sure you go on your knees to talk to God at times. I'm not a superhuman being, but the truth of the matter is clear that if the PDP, like I said, graduated from the use of thugs, from the use of police, from the use of army, and that was what we were expecting, that it would come.
Mr. Melaye,
but eventually this time around, the whole thing was computation.
What gives
was arithmetic, was mathematical, was scientific.
Let's put it like this: you used to be in the PDP. You seem to have a hand.
Like I said, I don't want you to remind me that I used to be in the PDP.
Yes,
I was blind. Those were days of your days of ignorance.
Days of ignorance, but nevertheless, it's an experience which is a part of you, and maybe you were preparing for whatever analog rigging, as you have said it was, and it didn't happen.
We were prepared to fight analog rigging.
In many
ways. We didn't know they've grown digital. We didn't know they've grown scientific. We didn't know that they were going to appear from nowhere.
One of the things you observed in your reports when you were making that statement was that they withdrew security operatives.
There was no security at all.
You said there was no security.
I'm telling you.
But you know,
and go around and carry out your investigative journalism. You will find out that about over 80% of the polling units, no policeman at all. When we conducted the presidential election, that every part of this country participated. Every polling unit had one or two policemen. Okay, but this is an isolated election, just Kogi State.